All right, welcome everybody. This is a public meeting of the West Bend School District and School Board Curriculum Committee. It is 4:30 p.m. on August 4th of 2026, and we will start with introductions. My name is Melanie Ergot, School Board Member.
June Kruger, School Board Member.
Kelly Lang, School Board Member.
Kelly Downs, Director of Curriculum and Instruction.
Tina Van Roo, District Data and Assessment Coordinator.
Erin Faust, Curriculum Coordinator.
Adrienne Schneider, Program Administrator.
All right, so we will start with the first item up for discussion, which is the second step primary resource update. And I see Emily Melstrand and Carrie Hughes at the podium.
Good evening. We have a really quick update, but it's going to feel like not a lot of information, and yet it's important. So one of the things that we had promised to our school board and our community in 2021, after our social emotional learning curriculum was approved and second step was identified as the primary resource, was that we would annually review that resource. It's a digital resource, and because of that, they can make updates to that happen automatically, right? So every single year, over the course of the summer, Carrie reviews that resource very in depth and makes sure that any changes are identified and still in alignment with the approved curriculum. So Carrie completed that work, and then we were able to review that together, and we have very little to report. I'm going to jump to the couple of updates, but before I do that, I just want to reaffirm again for the board and the community that there were a couple of commitments that we made that we continue to hold as very important. One of them was reviewing the resource. The other one is that a communication plan is in place, and that continues to be followed annually. So our principals include kind of a foreshadowing statement in their newsletters letting families know this is an upcoming lesson, these are the primary learning targets, and then these are at-home connections that you can do as a family if you choose to. We always align that communication plan with any potential changes to the digital platform. Again, this year that really is non-existent, but I wanted to make sure that you knew that that continued to happen. The other thing that I wanted to mention is we are in the process of a curriculum review with our school counseling team, and part of that curriculum review will look at all of our resources connected to social emotional learning. So that's in process. So we are here today, and we're going to give you the annual review report and recommendation. So when Carrie went through all of the content, she identified basically 2 changes to the digital platform. Both of them were very cosmetic in that it was inserting kind of a clarifying statement in a video, identifying in the video, this component is related to goal setting. This component relates to this step in the goal setting process. There is no impact on the curriculum. It's completely in alignment with the curriculum and is really completely cosmetic. And then the other thing, there was an added platform that was offered to districts in the new platform or in the digital resource. It has to be purchased. It's not something we're purchasing, and it doesn't align with our district curriculum. I wanted you to know that just in case there's any conversation related to that. It's not something we're purchasing, recommending, or using. And that's it. Those were the only 2 changes for the current year.
All right. Well, thank you for all of your work, Carrie, on going through all of that. I'm happy to see that it's very minimal changes and pretty benign. So thank you so much for your presentation. All right, the next item up for discussion is the 3K through 5th grade curriculum, and Kelly Downs will be presenting.
So at the last meeting in July, Adrienne was able to talk you through that 3K through 5th grade curriculum that you had a chance to look at. And there were some changes that you wanted made, mostly editorial type things. Those have all been done at this point. So I'm wondering if there's anything more you want to talk about with that curriculum before we recommend that we take it forward to the board.
Yeah, I would say I don't really have any questions. I think the website looked, pretty user-friendly and, I don't happen to be like a website designer or, a teacher that knows all the in-depth pieces to that, but as a community member or parent, I think it seems user-friendly, and I like that we have the transparency and access for families to see it.
Great, thank you for that feedback.
Okay, then we can move on to the next item, which is the 6th through 12th grade curriculum.
So this past month, you've had a chance to take a look at the 6th through 12th grade curriculum, and just want to open this for discussion. What are your thoughts? What are your questions? What do we need to update before we move forward?
I really like the layout. I really like how the items are, I guess, yeah, the layout is very nice. And one thing I did see that I wanted to just ask about is the Spanish. I went to the Spanish in 7th grade, and it did indicate that it was Part C. So it almost looked like it started, the course overview indicated that this was Part 3 and that parts parts 1A and 1B were completed at Silverbrook. And so I think there's just a disconnect between just that initial Spanish class and where it starts, and just making sure we're not leaping right into parts 2 and 3 at the first time you're offering Spanish.
So just so I'm clear and I'm understanding what you're saying, is that because it says Part C, it's not clear enough about where they're starting particularly? Is that?
Feels like they're starting on, they may not have foundational from, I guess I'm assuming Part A is where you would start. And this is indicating you're starting 3 steps in or 2 steps in from the beginning
Okay.
at your initial Spanish offering.
Yeah, I agree. It says the course overview is this course is part 3 of level 1. Parts A and B are completed at Silverbrook Intermediate. So that might just need to be clarified when
Thank
that's
you.
not happening.
Yeah, I don't really have any specifics to call out on anything. And I'll just kind of echo what I said for the last one. I think I like the layout of it and that it's very transparent for families to be able to access the information that they need, so.
I agree. I think what I love that you can go in and very easily find, because you're not, as a family, you're probably not going to go through every single one of these. But if you're looking very specific, it's very clear, it's easy to find. Just pulling up the world language, for example, you know exactly what you're looking at when you pull these up. So I think it's super helpful for people that maybe aren't living in this world every day, and it's like, I can see what my child is taking and I can correlate that to this. So I really do appreciate that.
I also wanted to point out that one of the things I found during looking through these is the college level rigor that is offered throughout. There's a lot of AP classes. There's a nice segue showing where to start. For example, in the art area, if your student is really looking to expand in that art space, there's so many offerings, and what's nice is it'll walk you through from start to finish and different levels, and every time I see the breadth of the offerings, I'm reminded of how many great offerings we have in the district, so, which is rare. There's a lot of AP classes alone, just in art, which is rare for a district, so, yeah, I really like that.
Thank you so much for that feedback. So what I'm hearing is that the main concern is around this Spanish, being able to clarify in the description what's exactly happening at that level and when the 1A and 1B are taught specifically.
Yes.
Okay. So we can work on clarifying that piece so that at that point, the entire K-12 curriculum has been reviewed by you. And are we comfortable with that at this point? Okay. Would you like us to make that change and have you see it, like I can do that through board docs or communication? Or you're just, okay, okay. So are you ready to move this forward to the board? The curriculum? Okay.
Okay. Looks like we've reached the end of our agenda. So I'll go ahead and close the meeting at 4:41 p.m. Thank you.